Welcome to Black and Gold. I'm your host, Dr. Perry Kyles. The topic today is the Egyptian Museum, sometimes referred to as the Museum of Egyptian Antiquities. It is in Tahrir Square in Cairo, Egypt. That museum, in my mind, is the best, most important museum in Egypt, even more important and better than the gym. Now, why am I saying that the Egyptian Museum is better? The Egyptian Museum is better because it's the only museum in Egypt that can compete with the great Egypt collections that exist in other museums like the Metropolitan Museum, the Louvre, the British Museum, the Turin Museum. Other countries, there are excellent Kemetic collections. Now, in Egypt, which one can compete with those? Only one. That's the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square in Cairo. Now, why do I say that? I say that because they have collections there that are extraordinary. For example, the Norma palette. The Norma palette might be the absolute most important single artifact find of the artifacts related to Kemet. It's the one that clarified the part that Norma played in unifying the two lands. This is the number one artifact for sure. And one interesting thing about it is it was just a mere tool used to mix makeup. In that museum is the only extant statue of Khufu. Now, 20 million people are going to come to Egypt to go to the Giza Plateau. And the main thing that they want to see is the Great Pyramid, which was built for Khufu. Yet Khufu has one statue in existence in the world right now. Where is it? It's in the Cairo Museum. It's really small. It's made of ivory, and that's something that you want to see. It's on the first floor. It used to be right at the door, but they've moved it. When you go to that museum, you have to see that. They need to do a better job of pointing that out and making sure that people see that. Also, the full figure statue, sculpted of stone, is that of Khafra, who is the son of Khufu. That pyramid on the Giza Plateau, it looks like it's higher than the Great Pyramid. It looks taller than the Great Pyramid. It's just because it's built on higher ground. That's built for Khafra. And when you go to the Cairo Museum, you're going to see it. It is majestic. And he has Heru, the hawk, on his shoulder for protection. So many things like that you'll see when you go to the Cairo Museum. Now, why is it so underrated or even underappreciated? It has to compete with museums like the Metropolitan, the British Museum, the Turin Museum, which are really hard to compete with. Those museums have extraordinary collections, but like I said, there's only one that can compete, which is the Cairo Museum in Tahrir Square. Part of the reason why the museum is so underappreciated now and overlooked is because the building of the Gem Museum, and the gym has its own global hype train. Monies came from 3 or 4 different continents to create that museum, which is really close to where I am right now. Money came from Asia, Europe, Americas, all over the place to create this museum, which has been in the works for 20, 25 years, some really long period of time. When the museum opened, they invited dignitaries from all over the world. So many different nations, peoples are vested in that museum in so many different ways. And that's why there's so much hype about it. Most recently, when I was on my way there, the taxi driver said, "Hey, you sure you want to go there? The Gem Museum is better." Now, that's important. That is really important to state because a taxi driver is going to take money out of his own pocket by telling me to go somewhere close instead of somewhere that takes 30 minutes to get there. That says a lot. And I think Egyptians in general are far more excited about Gem. They believe it's a better museum. In one of my videos, some young ladies I was speaking with, they're Egyptian artists. They're more excited about that museum. The new one, they said, is more modern. But for me, someone who's concerned with the actual artifacts themselves, I think that Cairo Museum is more important. Another reason why Gem is being promoted so heavily, and I think the Cairo Museum is underappreciated, is because the financial aspect of it all. See, tourism is a large part of the Egyptian economy. And of course, people sometimes they don't have a lot of time and they go to the pyramids, or they run out of time, and for whatever reason, they're unable to go to the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square. And that Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square is not open late a lot. Now, the new museum that they've built, the Gem Great, is very close to the pyramids. When I say the pyramids, I mean the pyramids on the Giza Plateau, Khufu, Khafra, Menkaura, and of course there's some pyramids and tombs on the Giza Plateau that are surrounding these three pyramids. And if you have time there on the Giza Plateau, I would suggest that you visit the tomb of Mers with the hieroglyphs and the pyramid of Hetephetes, who is the mother of Khufu. So many things to see there. Now the game plan is to just take them over to the gym, which is very close. As a matter of fact, there's a plan to connect the pyramids with the gym. For those three reasons, the fact that the Cairo Museum has to compete with the greatest collections in the world in the museums of Europe and America, the global hype train of dignitaries and investors from all over the world, as well as the economic imperative, the plan to link the Giza Plateau pyramids with the Gem Museum. For those three reasons, that is why the Cairo Museum is underrated. Now, let's say you're a person who's marginally interested in Kemet in ancient Egypt. Yeah, well, I get it. It's convenient. You just go to the gym. But some of the most important, beautiful, unique pieces are like the giant statues of Amenhotep and various things like the 20-meter papyrus of Ayuya. If you want to see extraordinary pieces like that, go to the Cairo Museum, Tahrir Square. Thank you. Subscribe to this channel and like this video.